think stories are about characters that you care about. And so I usually build up a character dossier, which is a fancy name for a list of characteristics. So certainly I choose the character's name. And for example, I've got a character called Art in the Project Spy Kids, which are the ebooks. And he's not terrific at reading, but he's a fantastic problem solver. But I went through and I came up with all sorts of things that he was good or not good at, what he looked like, what colour his eyes were, his hair, the street he lived in, all that sort of stuff, because you've got to get that right. You can't have him with green eyes twinkling in one chapter and blue eyes flashing in the third chapter. It doesn't work. But also giving him some challenges. Now, he's a competition addict. He's always going in for competitions and he wins stuff. And in the first one, he wins a giraffe, and his mum doesn't like pets. He's got to work out what to do with this giraffe, and there's a bit of a twist at the end of that story. So I actually build up the characters, and the dossier is probably the suggestion I'd make, that you really think about the characters, not just giving them names. You don't give them the names of your mate. You give them a name that fits their character, and that other people could spell fairly easily. That's important too. Or that's a bit funny, or as a nickname. Mars Bar's a character in the Project Spy Kids. All the kids like Mars Bar because he gets everything wrong. But the dog, which is massive, is called Tiny. So in naming your characters and building them up, they become real. Characters don't have to be people. They can be animals. In the Cyber Farm series, I've got a male belly dancing pig and a duck with attitude, a director duck with attitude. So they're characters that are no age and no culture, so they stay around a lot longer. In a series about Antarctic vehicles, the actual vehicles are characters, but they still have personalities.
I was listening to a couple of grade 4 children a couple of weeks ago giving each other feedback on their writing, and one of the students said, how you've described Bill in the beginning of your piece, it doesn't sound like the sort of thing Bill would do.
Ah, yes.
And I thought this is great because we've been talking a lot about character development and what sort of actions certain characters may or may not take based on how they've been described, and the children were able to give that feedback to each other and really keep their characters true to character, which was really great to see, 2 grade 4 children going through that.
I think that's a really good hint. And in terms of character, if you think about why somebody might do something and be consistent, what motivates them, why do they want to do something, and that has got to be consistent all the way through, and that fits very well.
And readers will make predictions about what's going to happen next based on what they know about a character, because they'll see, well, this has happened, how is this character going to respond, and so they'll make those predictions based on the information they've built up.
Yeah, and you've got a sort of an agreement with your reader that you'll put in a few clues about your character, and you won't suddenly have them do something that doesn't fit at the end, that's a coincidence, that's a cop-out. You've got to have them act consistent.